Hi everyone, I'm home and I wanted to show you Coco real quick. She's doing amazing. I think she missed me a little bit. And a lot of people have wanted an update. She's doing great. She's still tiny. She still doesn't eat a lot, probably a cup of food a day. But she only weighs 7 pounds and there she is. So that's it. I made it home last night. I did a video in the car, didn't work out, wouldn't upload. I am down to now using my husband's iPad to video with, and I'm looking over here, so I hope this is correct. I wanted to finish both my last videos cut off. I'm just in the Bermuda Triangle of devices. My phone is full, my computer's full, my laptop's full, my desktop's full. Scott's iPhone's full. We don't know what's happening. So now I'm down to his iPad. So we'll see how this works out. Let me see if it's even working. Yeah, okay. Okay, at the end of the last video, I said that I had a tip for you for shopping for Christmas on Amazon or wherever. And that's the first thing I want to share with you before I forget. The tip is this. When you find an item that is really good, think about who else could use it, okay? Now, because I was out of town until today, and it's 11 days till Christmas now, so I am in the crunch time of shopping, I did some online shopping while I was in Florida. And I found this item that I thought maybe I would get my mom and dad. And then I went to the website, and it was so expensive, I just said, oh, forget it, it's not worth what they're charging. Anyway, I went on Amazon, and I found a different version. It was still kind of pricey, but it's really cool. I can't tell you what it is though, because my mom watches my videos. Long story short, I liked it so much and the concept of it. I bought 6 of them. My mom, my dad, both my in-laws, and my 2 friends here in Houston. So, I mean, it's amazing. No, 1 friend in Houston, 1 friend in Austin. I got them those gifts. So I was able to buy 6 gifts, boom, like that. So that's the tip. Now, this won't always work, but if you don't think about it, you won't do it. You won't even think, oh, well, I could get that for them and them and them and them. So that was pretty amazing. And then I found something for my mom, and I thought, well, I'm getting my dad one too. It was kind of one of those situations. So that's the tip. If you find a fabulous item, maybe it's an electronic or something, and you can buy multiples of it and give it to a lot of people. It was just like the noose was off around my neck, because I said at the end of the last video that I agonize over gifts. And this year I didn't have that luxury to go and shop and walk around and buy it. Well, no, I'll come back later if I don't find something better. I mean, I'm getting too old for all that. It's too much stress. I don't know why we don't learn this when we're younger, to not stress ourselves out over this stuff. It's like you think you have to do certain things when you're younger. And this year I just decided, you know what, I'm going to get nice gifts, and I'm not going to agonize, is this the perfect gift? Who knows if it's the perfect gift, but it's the thought that counts. And this is going to be pretty cool, and I can't wait. I will show you after Christmas what it is that I purchased, but I can't do it right now. So that was amazing. I also in the other video, I told you that I was going to tell you the biggest pocket of goodness of all, but there's actually 2. So since I have space, I'm going to tell you both of them. They both have to do with Layla. I had decided, and I told you back when I was doing my series, The Best Is Yet to Come, that I wanted to learn how to knit, okay? And I finished 2 of the 3 big projects, and I was in the process of doing the 3rd when I had to leave town and go to Florida. And I was there for like 16 days. So there was no way I could finish the 3rd project. And I thought, you know what, one night I was just sitting there. It was like Friday, the first Friday night I was there, and I was just sitting around, and I said, I really want to learn to knit. I really do want to learn to knit. Maybe I'll just get in the car right now and go get some knitting supplies. But then I thought about the traffic in Brandon at 5 o'clock. It's just like being in New York City or something. It's horrible. This town has grown so much, and the roads did not keep up. And therefore, they're a nightmare at 5, really starting about 4. So I mentioned to my daughter, Megan, I said, oh, I really want to learn to knit. but I don't know where. I'm not going all the way to Joann's or Michael's. It's too far. And I said, I wonder if Target has knitting needles. Long story short, I went online. It showed that they had a set of knitting needles, and I thought, they have knitting needles, they have yarn. And I said, no, and I talked myself back out of it. And she said, I know the shortcut to Target from here, from her house. And let me tell you the way to go home, and you will avoid all the traffic. Bingo! I understood what she was telling me to do. Jumped in the car, went to Target. I asked and asked and asked. No one knew if they had knitting needles. Well, in the crafts section, they had one set of knitting needles, and they had like 2 things of yarn. Grabbed it up, took it back to their house, and I started watching videos on knitting, and I learned the knit stitch. I taught myself from watching videos the knit stitch. Well, my granddaughter was fascinated. She was connected to me watching. Well, in the beginning, I could not figure it out. I could not figure it out. And my daughter said, well, just watch someone else doing it. And I thought, that's not going to work. Anyway, Layla's sitting there, and she's just staring. And she finally says to me, can I try? I think I know what she's doing. I handed her the knitting needles, like kind of laughing to myself. I just handed her the knitting needles and the whole yarn. She totally did it first rattle out of the box. And I'm like, oh my gosh. What did I do the next day while she was at school? I went and got her a set of knitting needles, and I got her some yarn. And we learned to knit together. If you follow me on Instagram, there was a little picture of her little square that she's working on. And it was just so fun. Okay. That was huge, huge pocket of goodness. I knitted the whole rest of the time I was there, and let me tell you, there are studies that it's a stress reliever, and it's completely true. I can't tell you how, I don't know. I can't just, hey, she's climbing on the chair. Let me show you. There she is. Look, seriously? I can't tell you what a stress reliever knitting is, and if you don't believe me, look it up. Knitting, crocheting, things like that. Okay, now for the final thing. Thursday night, this past Thursday night, was Layla's first chorus program. It was a Christmas program. She's in chorus. And I was going to leave that morning. That was kind of the timeline. And all of a sudden I thought, you know what? I'm not leaving. I'm going to go see her in her program. So we all went to this little elementary school. Her school is just a sweet, sweet little school. It was built in like 1963, so it's the old style school, and you have all the big windows. You know, kids don't even get windows anymore in their schools. You know, remember, if you're my age, you remember probably staring out the window and daydreaming, and you'd see actual birds, trees, grass. You know what I mean? So we went to her school, and the thing was in the cafeteria, and it is an old school, and all they had done for this program, and it's not a school that has like a ton of money, okay? They had just hung paper stars and snowflakes. And Layla goes, oh, it's so beautiful. And I just thought, oh, yes, it's so beautiful. She goes, she has a speaking part. She does fantastic. Well, about a week before, she had a little piece of a little booklet like this. And she was flipping through it. I said, what are you doing? She goes, oh, it's my chorus songs. And she handed me the paper, and she sang all 6 songs to me. A cappella, absolutely perfect. It was amazing. And I think the UPS is bringing me some packages. Yep. So anyway, it was unbelievable. So I was at the program, and it was the sweetest program. It was so cute. Their music teacher, this man had written it. He had written some of the songs. There was music. There was a song all about forgetting about yourself and kind of serving others. And it was talking about, and it was kind of religious in nature. And you know, it was just so sweet. And I ran down front and sat on the ground between the rows in the middle of the front, and to take a couple of pictures. Well, then the program started, and I couldn't go back to my seat. It would have been distracting. So I just sat right there, cross-legged, and watched the entire program from right there. And I'm telling you, by the end of the program, I had tears streaming down my face, because it was the true meaning of Christmas. This whole year, this whole couple of weeks being in December has taught me that Christmas is just, I can't describe it, but it's not what it should be for a lot of us. And I realize that it has not been for me what it should have been in the last many, many years since my kids kind of got older, and everything they wanted was so expensive, and it would just felt so stressful. And then I'm trying to find the perfect gift from everybody for everybody else, and I always never think I've spent enough money on people. And I've just really learned that that's not what it's about. That program taught me that it's about the feeling of Christmas. It's about giving with a spirit of joy, not a spirit of stress. It's about losing yourself for others. It's about Jesus's birth. It's just, and I know all this psychologically, I know all this, but it entered my heart this year from this silly little program, this elementary school program, and watching all those children and thinking about their lives and thinking about, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. And I cried.